Good afternoon. Hope you're all well. Welcome again to the Lovespoon Workshop. Today we're going to demonstrate some simple carving. We've got a little dove that we're going to start off working on. We've got Thomas the wood carver on the other side of the bench. That's the tapping that you might be able to hear. I just going to check that we got the sound on, so bear with me 2 seconds. Yeah, we've got the sound on there as well. So yeah, we get straight into it. Did you want to say hello to everyone, Thomas the wood carver?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Pronoun that. So, we're just going to start off. We're carving a piece of oak, and you can see we've marked it on using some paper. It's got some paper where we've marked it on, and we've marked it with a vertical grain. So I thought with this coming up to Easter, this Lovespoon, as we've said before with a lot of our ideas, our projects, we always try to put a story and a message into what we do. So the idea with this, the dove represents peace but also hope. And with it coming up to Easter, we thought it was appropriate. So that's what we're demonstrating today. It's just a simple carving of the dove. Depending on time as well, I've got another few spoons here to demonstrate as well. So that's what we're basically doing, is demonstrating the carving of those. So the wood that we're using, as mentioned, a piece of oak. It's reclaimed oak. We've got that from some old furniture. And the nice thing with it, it's got some lovely character, lovely colours in the grain of the wood itself. So what I'm starting off by doing, I'm just shaping. So we want to get a bit of a rounded off shape, because we're working in 2 dimensions, but we always want to sort of create a little bit of an effect of a 3-dimensional feel to our 2-dimensional carvings. So we just do a little bit of work in the one direction, just to get a little bit of shape on it. We then turn the Lovespoon around in the vise, like so, change gouges, and we're going to get a little bit of shape to the body. And what I'm really demonstrating here is very much, you know, our day job. This is what we're doing on a daily basis, is carving our Lovespoons. That's the idea, as I mentioned, with this having that message in it, message of hope. And that is actually the name of this Lovespoon. We call it our Hope Lovespoon. Now this week as well, as always, we've got our Wednesday uploads. That's going to be a bit different. A little bit different to what we would normally do. I tell you what it is, we were asked to do a collaboration. And we've been asked to collaborate with Ben Q, much to my surprise. Yeah, they contacted us and asked us if we would review a lamp. And the first thing that I asked them was, you sure you contacted the right person? We thought they'd made a mistake. But they hadn't made a mistake. They did want us to check it out for them. And we're just sharing our thoughts and our own ideas on it. I tell you what, it might be useful to do. Do you want to bring that lamp into there so everybody can see? Do you want to pop that one on the bench for me? I'm going to get Dad to put it on the bench, so hopefully you'll be able to see that it does actually make a real difference to us when we're wood carving.
Oh, it's a heavy old thing.
It is. It's a bit of a lump. It's a substantial thing. And yeah, we'll turn it on so you can see the effect that it has. I thought if we put it in there, just put it in that little groove there. There we are. Fantastic. If you plug that in for us. Yeah, it's a useful bit of kit as well, because it's really adjustable. So there's a lot of adjusting that we can do. So yeah, check out that review. Let us know your thoughts on it. As always as well, if you've got any questions, anything as well that you would like to see on our channel, anything you'd like to see us making, or any particular aspects of wood carving, scroll sawing, woodworking that you're having difficulty with, let us know and we'll have a look at doing a video or a live stream to hopefully help you out. And we got Tommy's Workshop. Tommy's joined us. Good afternoon. Great to have you with us, as always. You see, we're just starting off our work on our dove. So we've got we're just getting the shape of it, and now we're just working on the surround. Also as well, as you're with us as well, Tommy, we'll ask everyone. There we are. So we just bring that in. There you go. Maybe that, hopefully you might see a little bit of a difference. I'm going to check that. It might be too bright. Let's just check it on the other one there. Yeah, I'm just 2 seconds, I'm going to check. That's without. And that's with. So yeah, it's a useful bit of kit. And it's adjustable. So we're actually finding it really useful for our wood carving and our scroll sawing. Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you all. Let us know in the comments section, what are you working on at the moment? What projects you got going on? Dad's on the other side of the bench there. He's actually starting on a bespoke spoon. Something we don't do very often actually now. It's got 2 seeds on it. So he's in the process of working on that. So you can see that's the early stages. So when we'll demonstrate this in another video now, we will. But when you're working on seeds, you've got to gradually take away that waste wood you don't want until you free it from the solid. Who else we got joining us? The wood burning warrior. I've been watching a few of your videos. I need to learn how to sharpen spoke shaves. Don't have a clue. Right, we can have a look at that.
Yeah.
How to sharpen the spoke shave. Yeah, we can do that later in the video. So you can see there's the progress. So anyone interested, we will do a video. We have done a few videos on carving a seed, a ball in a cage before, but that's how we actually do it. It's a gradual process, time-consuming process, and the person with this one, they've asked for it in oak. I wouldn't really recommend oak as the easiest timber for doing seeds in, really, is it?
Not to start with.
It's quite challenging.
A piece of mahogany would be better.
Mahogany, a bit of teak, a bit of lime.
Yeah, a bit of teak.
Teak carves beautifully. I've done them in teak before, and that's really, really nice. Yeah, so anything like that, we will have a look with that spoke shape. Tommy's just saying hello as well to everyone. Brilliant. Yeah, so as you can see, we're just working on that surround, just to bring out where we're doing our carving. So we're just getting that surround there, and it's a colder day here today. We've got the fire going, so there's plenty going on in the workshop here. Dad's carving on the bench, as you can hear. The fire's going as well, so hopefully it makes it a bit more authentic. But let us know as well, what else are you working on? We'll have a look through sharpening the spoke shave. We'll do that later on in the video, because yeah, useful bit of kit, and it's relatively straightforward for sharpening, isn't it, the spoke shave?
Yeah, we'll do that later.
So you can see we're just shaping this one. What we've actually did on this design, the top, the reason it's pointed like that is we took inspiration from like a candle flame. So that was the idea. It was like the hope burning brightly. That was the eternal hope sort of theme, that idea. Right, just notice this. I'm working on a water feature. Oh wow. Tommy's working on a water feature. Brilliant. It's always great to know what everyone's working on, and it's great when everyone shares what they're up to. Fantastic. So we're going to work on it as well. We're going to work on the twist on the stem, and that represents binding, growing together, that sort of idea. And this particular piece of wood, nice piece of wood for working in, and it's nice as well because it's recycled. We're actually reaching a point now, because of the restrictions and lockdown and stuff like that, we're actually starting to struggle because, as you may notice from our live streams and things like that, we use quite a bit of oak, and we get into a stage where we haven't got a lot of oak left. So we're going to have to find another source for it, aren't we?
Yeah. We normally use old furniture.
That's right. We've used a lot of old furniture that people don't want over the years, but at the moment we can't get hold of it. I I know there's another. Finish the wood carving, flower scoop. Yeah, I saw that one. And sealed it. Brilliant. Custom doorbell. Fantastic. Yeah, I saw the flower scoop. Yeah, nice job working with the new gouges. It came up nicely, that one. I saw you working on it, shaping it. We've never done anything like that before, have we? A flower scoop or anything like that? No. I always think with it, because we're doing different videos we've got coming up, is actually demonstrating how to sort of almost turn things, almost to turn your work then into money, how to make money from what you're doing. And that is what I always think, is how can you turn something into a product? So for instance, recently somebody asked us for Lovespoons, and they were doing a particular product to do with drinks. And I suggested to them, why don't you have a bottle opener? Because it seemed more in keeping with what they were actually doing, as opposed to a Lovespoon, which we would regard as more for an occasion. I'm just looking at this one as well, dude.
Yep.
Can you do me a favour? Because it's an internet one. Can you check? I've got a feeling on this design, it's marked out with a line across there. I got a feeling that I actually carve it down there as opposed to there.
It's a bit late now.
Can you check? No, thankfully it's not. Can you check if that line is that way? So what it is, let me show you.
On the internet.
Just go and check the way I do it for the internet. On the drawing, see, I got a line marked there, so for a continual twist. But I got a feeling that when I carve it for the internet, I actually carve it the other way. And I just want Dad to check, because this will become part of our internet stock. So we always have spoons in stock, ready for being personalised. And so I want to get it right, so we can use this one, because when this is shellac, this will be a beautiful piece of wood. Yeah, so at the moment we're struggling a bit where we're...
There we are. You're right.
There we go, Sam.
You're right.
So a sneak preview, that's what it's going to look like. And I knew, see, this is what I was talking about. This is based on a candle flame. So on the drawing, on the paper drawing, it's wrong. So we'll actually carve it then in terms of that style. Where, yeah, you got a sneak preview.
So we now go to our box, just to show everybody.
Here we go. Yeah, to give you an insight, this is our process.
A quick show of.
These are all our designs.
All our templates in this tray.
So you can see we draw them all out. There's a good example there for everyone to see.
So I'm going to find the dove one now and correct it.
Yeah. So we'll change that design. So what we
when
do.
I find it, I'll show everybody.
That's right. What we've done over the years, we used to just do like ply templates, which works well. Now we also stick the templates onto the wood itself. Another method we use that we've demonstrated at different times is carbon paper. So those are all different ways that we actually stick on. One thing I don't explain very often as well, when I'm carving, we tend to sort of do everything quite quickly, because it's just, we have a natural tempo that we're working at. As well, if you're wondering what the noise is in the background, that's the fire spitting. There's not a problem. It may sound like there's a problem with the microphone. It's not that. It's just the fire. We're burning, I'm not sure, what have you got on there? Some small branches or something, have you?
Yeah, there's a little bark from the tree.
Ah, there we are. He's burning some bark there, so that's why you can hear, if you can hear that noise in the background, that's what it is. Yeah, one thing I don't explain, we do things quite quickly, and we don't always explain that when we're carving, what we're sort of doing, we mark our stop cuts, and especially if you're learning, and if you're a beginner, and it's sort of early stages of your carving, what I then do is you've got to find that cutting angle. And we don't explain this very often. So when I do that cut, so if I go in too shallow, you know, this is real sort of things more for beginners, people starting out. If I go too shallow, you end up sort of just skimming across the top. If you go and try and do too deep, you get a lot of resistance to the extent it's pushing my chair back. So what I'm doing to do my wood carving is we do a stop cut, and then I'm trying to find the cutting angle on the gouge. And it's almost like that sweet spot. And it'll be different then on different gouges. And it depending on what you do then. So for instance, you know, if you're a carpenter and joiner, you'll have a different angle. So for instance, my friend, he is a fabricator, and when he brings his gouges in to be sharpened, we put a different angle on his tools than we put on ours. We actually carve with quite a high heel. So yeah, there we are. So you can see that's the drawing. And they've all been, we've printed them all out like that, but they all need to be changed to that. So we just put a little like that on there. And so we change that design now, just like so. There we go.
So we do everyone like that, do you?
We do everyone like that, and then when we photocopy the next batch, then we'll have the design correct. So yeah, that's what we're doing. You're finding, for example, here then, I'm actually using the reverse edge to cut. So we're cutting using the reverse edge of the gouge, but it's the same thing again. If I go to shallow, we end up where we're just sort of skimming. If I go to deep, we're getting a lot of resistance. So we've got to find that sweet spot for doing our carving. It is finding a lot of your working with your different tools, a lot of working with your tools is to find the cutting angle on your gouge. So that's what we do. It's basically using the gouge correctly. And then regardless of your grip, the tools that you use, if you find that cutting angle, it should cut nicely. There we are. We'll turn that round, just like so. And as always, we just shape just bevel the edge. So as much as I possibly can, I'm trying to work with the grain. So we're just working with the grain, just to shape it just like so. Constantly working with the grain, and then we turn it around once more in the vise, because we're going to finish this top section of the spoon. I'm also going to sand our dove. For an update as well on last week's spoon, that's gone down to Gracie now. She had that. She was delighted with that. It was great to see her. We had an email from her with her holding her spoon, so I think she was pleased with that one, but she did a really good job, and it was really nice to be able to share the process of making the Lovespoon with her. So what I'm going to do now, we're going to just sand our dove, just to sort of round it all off. So again, we work in with the direction of the grain. So if you're new to wood carving, you've got that vertical grain running, so you can mark it all out with a vertical grain. Makes it stronger, makes it more straightforward for working, for cutting out. Now over the next couple of days and weeks on the channel as well, we're just going through, we're actually changing a lot of the thumbnails. We're not changing any of the videos, and because we got a little bit of a new system for doing our thumbnails, because we've changed programs and we've changed cameras. So we've just gone through all of our thumbnails and we're just improving them. As I said, none of the content changing, but just to tidy up, make everything look a little bit more clean on our YouTube channel. Right, so we've just got that one there. Now that fire has just gone a little bit quieter, and he's throwing some more stuff on there.
I put a bit of old ash on there.
Oh, so that's they call that one the king of woods. Do they call that when it comes to burning?
Well, it's a lovely wood for burning, but the reason we're burning it is because we've had a lot of
ash come down.
Very black.
Yeah.
So we've got rather a lot of ash.
That's right.
That's
That was the wood that we were carving last week, for anyone who's not familiar with it. And there's the old saying, isn't it? Because there's an old saying they say in the UK. Wonder if Tommy's familiar with this. They say ash before oak. So if the ash tree, if the leaves are out before the oak tree leaves in the spring, you're in for a soak. So it means that we're going to have a wet summer. Oak before ash, you're in for a splash. So it means the difference is if the oak is out before the ash, the old saying goes that it's going to be if oak's out first, it's going to be a drier summer. If ash is out first, we're going to have more rain. We're just doing the eye. This little gouge here, that's a nice little one, that really useful. It's a tiny gouge. It's got a bit of a different sweep on it, but it comes in very useful for doing something like an eye. And for anyone wondering, I deliberately do that. I deliberately just cut out the eye a little bit, just to drop it down in the carving, just to differentiate the levels. You got another comment on that? What grit of sandpaper? Good question. That one there that I've used is a P180. We do, in our finishing though, we use 240, 360. You can go higher if you want to. Truth of it is, because we're doing the spoons, you know, this is then what we sort of do as our day job. It's time. With the finishing, you can spend a lot of time with your finishing, and a lot of it comes down to then how much time do you want to spend on it. You can spend hours, days. We've got to sort of we have to compromise, don't we, when it comes to our finishing. We have to produce a good quality finish.
Yeah, what we've been doing is 2 coats of shellac.
Yeah.
Fine 240 grade.
240, and we use 320 as well. We got in.
Yeah, but we use a 180, 240. Yeah. 240 is the main one for finishing for us.
An interesting one that's come in as well. We're hoping this is going to come off. We found a new company, haven't we, with the with our sanding belts.
Yeah.
And if that comes off, we'll have to let everybody know with that.
Yeah, we will let everybody know.
We will let you all know, because that is going to save us an absolute fortune if that comes off.
It'd be interesting as well as far as people from outside the UK.
Yeah.
Because of course the company that we're using is inside the UK.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting, really, you know, what kind of proportion people are paying for their sanding belts.
It's the same. Tommy's just saying there, yes, but ash is always out first. Well, it is in Wales. That's where it's always raining here, isn't it? Yeah. we got Midnight Joker has joined us as well. Glad you can join us. Thank you for joining us. Sorry to cut across you. You were saying outside the UK with the sanding belts.
We'll let everybody know the prices we're paying.
Yeah, well, basically, if it comes off, we're getting four belts for the price of one, really, isn't it? You know, so that'll be fantastic. One thing we're also looking at, and as well, get it in the comments, any information anybody has got on this and things like that. We're looking again. We used to make a lot of clocks and barometers and thermometers. Have you got any suggestions for suppliers? Isn't it? Because we're looking again. We've got one contact which is, I think, called Mega Quartz.
Yeah, but
they're out of stock.
It's only
for the size we want.
They only operate via email. You can't even telephone.
That's right.
And from my point of view, anybody that you can't telephone,
it's a bit concerning.
It's just sound old-fashioned.
Well, I mean, the thing is, you either want to speak to them or see their website or something, don't you? So.
It's all email now, isn't it?
But basically what it is, we're getting back into well, our government here in Wales is slowly lifting restrictions, and there is a chance that sometime we would be allowed to open again.
Yeah.
And basically, when we reopen, we're changing one thing, and we've been working towards this for a while. We're trying to get it where we're not buying in anything for our shop. We're trying to sort of make it where we're making everything ourselves. So that's why we're getting back into making clocks and barometers and things like that, which we will share on the channel as we're going along. But just interested to know, Midnight Joker and Tommy and people like that who are here in the UK, any suggestions for suppliers for things like clock movements, barometer movements,
that'd be really
thermometer?
good, yeah.
Any suggestions? If you've got anyone you know or anywhere you know, we'd really appreciate it, because it's a bit of a...
And what's happened with us, because the Lovespoon has taken so...
it's taken up so much of our time, isn't it?
Yeah, we tended to sort of... other things then, like clocks, barometers,
dolls' houses.
smaller things then sort of were pushed to the background, really.
Yeah, that's right.
And of course, the other thing, in that time, clock movements in particular,
Quality is not...
the quality, we used to get German movements, and they were good. They're still available, but that's why we're saying, if anybody knows how we can get hold of those, I have seen one supplier, but we haven't sort of had chance yet to get in touch with them either yet. So it's
No, another one to point out with everyone as well, would like some feedback and some input into this idea. Dad years ago used to make dolls' houses, knew it?
yeah.
And he had 3 different designs, which were
It's a Welsh cottage,
Welsh cottage,
a fisherman's cottage,
fisherman's, and a Tudor,
and I think it was a Georgian, wasn't it?
A Georgian
house.
and a Georgian house, right? Yeah, it's something then. These different ideas. So making the clocks, barometers, and stuff like that. Is that something of interest to everyone? So let us know in the comments section. And the dolls' houses then, is that of interest to everyone to see the process for how we would make these things? Let us know if you'd like to see it.
We can show everybody our little Welsh cottage.
Yeah, we'll.
We can.
Yeah, what we do. I tell you what we do. We show at the end.
Yeah, we'll
bring it
show
across,
the
and we show everybody at the end of the
Yeah.
live stream. So you can see we're nearly there. What I will do with this, just so everybody knows the process that we work with, the carving, we're virtually there at the top. But as you can see, you've got this bit of paper here and here. I would take that in next door, put that on the belt sander, and sand that back off. So clean it all up. So we've just shaped all of this, shaped our twist, just like so. And I'm going to shape it back this way. But yeah, let us know your thoughts. Would you like to see any of those things demonstrated? I think, right, cousins, write this one down. German movements. Tommy's got German movements. He managed to get them on eBay. Procraft. This is brilliant. Thanks for this. We really appreciate this.
That's Procraft.
Right, we got Richard Carroll. Love to see the doll's house.
What was the first one?
We got Procraft and eBay Cousins in Birmingham do clock movement. This is fantastic. Really appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's really helpful.
It's years ago now, but if anybody ever remembers the company Day Impex.
There we are. That'll be interesting.
In actual fact,
Huh?
I mean, there was a French connection there, I think, so, you know.
Well, that is fantastic. We really appreciate everyone's help with that, because that is really useful. And we will have to get filming on the doll's house for Richard. He said he'd love to see the doll's house process. Yeah, one thing as well.
I would say about what happened with clock movements, you would, what sort of really we found it difficult, you would go into Marks and Spencer's and
it was the price.
Purchase a clock there for, I don't know, maybe £12.50, £15.
And we'd be paying £15 for the movement.
Exactly. So, you know, that side of our business, the chap we used to get, there was a chap from Norwich that used to supply us. When he retired, we really stopped sort of purchasing the clock movements.
That's right, because the movements with him, they were really reliable.
Yeah.
But that is absolutely fantastic. Really appreciate that. That'll help us out loads.
But it was the...
I've got hobbies in London, Christopher Hinton.
Yeah, good.
London Clocks and Dolls Houses.
That's right, they're two good.
And hello to the Gerald as well. Well, thank you all. Really appreciate that.
But I mean, it was basically the price kept coming down.
Yeah.
You know, they were imports that, and often.
It's the same. We used to have the musical movements.
Yeah.
And they come down and down and down. There we are. So that's our dove. Do you want to grab some shellac? And what I'm going to demonstrate now.
Shellac for you. God, you got me up and down like a linking oil.
Sorry, dude. So we got this one here we're going to demonstrate. Now this is our logo. Now we used to be called Inwood Craft Carving, but since we became the Lovespoon Workshop, this one here is actually our Lovespoon Workshop logo. So let's show you how we carve this. We don't carve this one very often. Oop, there's a creaky noise. Check the back. Now we're okay. Always when we hear something funny, always checking as he split it, but we're all right. Not too bad. Nothing's broken yet. So yeah, we don't carve this one very often, but this is actually our workshop logo. So what you've got the acorn, you've got the leaf, and you've got the dragon. So because we're here in Wales, you'll notice it's the logo that you'll see on our YouTube channel.
Shellac and the brush.
There we are. We got the shellac there. We've just put a coat of shellac on that dove. Because the main thing I want everybody to see, it's not so much the carving, because the carving is a relatively simple impression of a dove, but too much shellac I put on the brush now. Oh, this is what happens. See, I go and put it everywhere. I'm making a bit of a mess. We'll also show you as well, because as I said, Thomas the Woodcarver's working on those seeds. He prefers to do that one himself because he likes to go at it slowly, and I think he's nervous. He's nervous that I'll take too much off. There we go. That's our dove. So you can see that beautiful grain and character coming up in the in that piece of oak. Really nice wood. Right, let's go on to this dragon. I'm gonna have to clean my hand. 2 seconds because I got shellac everywhere. Right, yeah. So this one, as I mentioned, this is our logo. So we're just working. We start off working on its tongue. You'll see this, it's the little one that in our videos and live streams, it's in the bottom left-hand corner of our thumbnails. It was originally, I believe it was originally designed by Mondi Press, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. Is it Mondi Press they call themselves in Pembroke Dock?
Yeah.
So basically to give you a background on ourselves, we were Inwood Craft Carving until about 2003. Yeah, and up until then, the reason we were in wood is because we worked in wood. So we thought that would be appropriate, which is still the name of the house here. And then it was from 1994, we were still called Inwood at that stage. As I said, it was 2003 when we changed it. But basically, it was 1994 was when we actually started making Lovespoons for sale. So before then, if you wanted a Lovespoon from our workshop, you had to come here and make it yourself. So you had to get involved in the making process. That was how we did it. But then in 1994, too many rules and regulations and health and safety, so we decided that we needed to actually start selling the Lovespoons. And there was less interest. More and more people wanted a Lovespoon but didn't want to actually work on it.
That's right.
And so we just took the decision that for several reasons,
it just became impossible.
it was just impossible for it to continue doing that sort of thing. But the nice thing and the interesting thing, so for instance, we were talking there, we've got it planned to do the doll's house later in the year, or as soon as we possibly can get it filmed. We've got plans to show you the process for how we make our clocks and things like that. The interesting thing with YouTube is, for us, we're actually almost revisiting our past as a workshop, aren't we? Because the beauty of it is, because there's, you know, an interest in making things, we can revisit some of the ideas that we used to make before there was sort of well, when was the last time you made a doll's house? Wow.
At least 20 years ago.
Over 20 years ago now. So yeah, it'll be great fun to... That's the problem, we've forgotten more than we can remember half the time.
Well, of course, you're up against it. Was it Cindy?
Well, yeah, they brought in all the... And the other thing as well, because we were working... When we were talking about it, I mean, you would make a doll's house, but then somebody would ask you, well, what's the scale? So, we didn't used to make them to scale, did you? Or did you?
No,
you used to make a doll's house.
Yeah. There's a eureka moment there for anybody. I don't know whether you can show that on camera.
Okay.
I can just see the light through that first little seed there.
There you go.
Can you see the light there, Dave?
I might have to bring our... I'm not sure we can... It's basically just between the two seeds, you just get that little breakthrough. It's always a good moment. There you go. So that's what Dad is working on. So you can see that's taking shape. That's the difficulty with the oak, is to get those seeds really nice and round. And when you're doing, anybody doing the seeds, and again, this is another thing that we will demonstrate again, because we have got a video on it.
You put that back a second, and,
right.
And just emphasise, show the front of the spoon.
The front.
But emphasise the fact that we are doing the difficult bit first.
Yeah, this is for anybody who's learning wood carving, learning the process and stuff. What Dad has just raised there, yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah. Do you want to explain again?
Well, it's simple. You can see we got a wheel, we got some wedding bells, we got a couple of twists on there, the spoon itself, but there's no point in doing that work, because there could be, say, 4, 5, 6 hours work cutting the spoon, doing the wheel and the bells. Well, if you do that and it takes 6 hours or whatever it does take, and then you start the seeds and something goes wrong with the seed, then you've lost 6 hours work.
That's right. So basically, it's a point in terms of organising, especially when you are learning.
I mean, I know it could go the other way.
You can. Yeah,
we can do the seeds.
I mean, that's the thing. Different people have different methods for doing things and different approaches to organising stuff. But what Dad is saying, our advice when it comes to organising our work is sort of tackle it head on, as in get the most difficult thing and the thing that is most likely to go wrong, get that done first, and then come back and do the things that are a little bit more straightforward. So you will normally see us organising our work. Unless there's a specific reason for it, you'll usually see us organising our work by getting the most tricky thing done first of all.
Yeah, I know obviously
it saves it saved a bit of heart.
6 hours on the seeds and something else goes wrong.
Something goes wrong in it, but
the most likely
thing to have an issue with are the seeds. So that's why we do them first. Saved us a lot of heartache over the years, because it can be pretty, especially when you're learning.
We don't actually do a commercial. It isn't on our website then. A Lovespoon with a seed.
People ask us regularly. I've seen the seeds and things like that, and we generally don't do them. And the reason we don't do them is that the majority of Lovespoons you see with links and seeds, I will not comment on how they're done, but we certainly couldn't compete when it comes to price.
Exactly.
Because
just ask the question, if you're selling a spoon with 2 seeds in it
and it's £30
and 2 links, and it's
how on
£30,
earth do you do that? So there's something that is being done differently to ourselves, because as you can see what Dad is doing, it's all being made from one single solid block of wood. I'll be honest with you, I couldn't sell this for under £30 what I'm carving here, let alone a love spoon with 2 links and 2 seeds. It's a lot of work. It has also, though, it did get me thinking. Shows you what month are we in now? We're in March, aren't we?
Yeah.
And already today, my head was, I was thinking in this year's love spoon.
Wow.
Yeah, because, well, it's just the reality of it, isn't it? It'll be upon us, you know, where we're doing our spoon to record the year. It'll be on us very quickly. And I had some thoughts on it. I fancy including a love spoon that's got a. I know we did a little bit of Celtic work in last season, but I want one that's very Celtic inspired. I'm having a Celtic moment.
Oh, good.
I thought that what it is, we've been asked for a few different ones, and we've been doing different symbols and I can't even say it properly, probably, but it's Triskelion.
Right.
And I really like this symbol.
That sounds Cornish.
Quite possibly, but it's a Celtic symbol, and I thought that in the situation at the moment, a lot of the Celtic symbols about balance.
Right.
And about nature, balance, body, mind, soul, this sort of thing. And I thought there's some interesting themes for a love spoon to record this year. So, but open to suggestions. Again, any thoughts, any ideas, let us know. And you never know, they could end up being included in our spoon for the year. What are your thoughts on that? I'll put it across to you straight away.
I haven't stopped to even think of a love spoon for this year, to be quite honest with you.
I quite because I tell you what I did quite fancy doing. We've got some nice pieces of teak there.
Right.
Or we got some nice mahogany and things like that. And I just fancied we haven't done a real elaborate. I think that's maybe where I was thinking in it. We haven't done a really very elaborate spoon for a few years, have we? It's still elaborate, and the main thing is not how elaborate it is, it's the story.
It is. It's.
But I had an idea.
Often the simpler things are better than the complicated things, then, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. But I had a design and an idea that I was thinking through. But yeah, that's the sort of thought process as we're carving. So you can see what we're doing. Our oak leaf that we have on our logo just has this single line. So we're just working on that one there. It's again marked out in oak, which is appropriate, because of course it's that acorn and oak leaf. And we've got a single line mark. So we're just cutting that out with the gouge. Quite a precise.
Just to say as well,
dot.
how many? Just tell people how many sort of reasons you could make a love spoon for. Then how many occasions, Dave? Just to
The occasions.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, this is a nice thing. If anyone hasn't made a love spoon before, there's very few rules and regulations. You can make them for anything from birthdays, weddings, anniversaries. We use them now for friendship.
Originally, they would have been for an engagement.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, a betrothal, they say, but there's no evidence of that.
Yeah, we use that. Oh, you'll have to excuse me 2 minutes. My wife is shouting through the door. Hello, Yelly. Do you want to come and say hello to everyone?
Come and say hello, Yelly.
Come and say hello, Yelly.
Sorry.
There we are.
Hello.
You okay?
I need mask.
There we are.
Sorry.
Okie doke.
Come and say hello first, Yolly. Say hello in
Bye
Spanish.
bye.
There we are.
Hola.
There we are.
Adios.
She's just run off again. There we go. That was her first appearance on the live stream for a few months. She'll be back again soon. So you can see we're just starting to get the shape on our little dragger. I think I'm also going to angle it down a little bit more on the bottom here. There we are. Yeah, just shaking that one there. I'm going to have a little check as well on the... Check on there, see if we've got any other comments. Oh, the wood burning warrior has gone off to walk the dogs.
Oh, very
there
good.
we are. Hope that all goes okay. There we are. So now what we're going to do, we're going to just try and round off the acorn. And you'll notice all the time we're trying to work with the grain. So we've got a vertical grain and we're trying as much as we can to work with the direction of the grain. And we'll shape it round. And you'll also notice, because we're used to doing it on a daily basis, we use the gouge however it's most effective. So you'll notice that I tend to flick between using the normal cutting edge and then the reverse cutting edge. It's basically whatever is going to give us the finish that we want, the most effective finish. The last little bit really that I'm contending with is, whilst we're shaping that, we also just want, what do you call it? It sits in a case, doesn't it, the acorn? So we just want to bring the acorn, the cup, that's it. So I just want to bring it so the acorn is sitting in the cup itself. And I'm going to use a spike. Where's my spike? Here we are. How to make a spike. Anybody wants to do a homemade spike, put it on a grinder. That's just a file. So it's just you can see. So we turn the end of the file, double purpose sensei. So we use it as a file, but we can also use it as a spike. So just those little indents on the cup that we'll mark around like so. I don't know if there's a specific number that I should do. Is there a right number of dots?
No, there's no number.
We'll see how many we end up with. I think we're going to end up with 5 and 5, 10 altogether. Yeah, there we go. So we got that like so, and then we're just going to get it so that acorn just sits inside the cup, just like so. I think we're nearly there with that. And it's nice to, it's a different design, but it's nice to actually carve something with our logo on. I'm probably going to end up then, these will probably end up on our website, these ones, in our collector's corner, because we're always adding something a bit different. I can't see it being a Lovespoon that we want to reproduce a lot, but you never know. So you're choosing the right gouge for the job. So different sizes, different widths, different sweeps to get the job done. Have you got the kit there as well for them? Oh, I'm just thinking it was the wood burning whisperer wanted to see how to do the Spokeshave. We're going to demonstrate that, and she's going to walk the dogs.
That's okay.
We'll have to carry on and demonstrate it.
The walk is.
Let's hope it's not too long a walk.
Well, you can always see the live stream.
That's right, yeah.
Like that, so you're okay.
Model boats and Romany caravan. Right. Now that sounds like a model boats and Romany caravans. That'll be a challenge for us. That's something we've never done before.
Model boats. That takes me back to my apprenticeship.
Well, that'll be a good one to demonstrate for the scroll saw project. I could see that. So what's the story with your apprenticeship?
Well,
Did you think about?
sort of.
Okay. Come on, share it with everyone.
Well, I'm assuming everybody would know what a hobble was.
A hobble?
Yeah. If you were doing an hobble,
Right.
right? I mean, you were on the fiddle.
Right.
You were doing something in work that
You shouldn't have been doing.
you shouldn't have been doing.
Right, okay.
And
This is Thomas the Wood. It's turned into Thomas the Woodcarver's Apprentice Tales now.
Confession time.
Okie doke.
Being an apprentice, you know, you were young and a little bit innocent.
Okie doke.
And of course, the obel that I was asked to do was to make a model, the hull of a model boat.
Right.
For Basil, the electrician.
Okie doke.
So we did what was requested. We made the hull of the boat, but that wasn't enough. They wanted the hull of the boat hollowed out.
Right.
So Basil was pushing his luck a bit, wasn't he?
So what happened to Basil's hollowed hull?
Well, the idea was to cut it out on a mortise machine.
Right.
So of course, we set it up on the mortise machine and started chiseling or hollowing out the hull of the boat. But of course, the shape of a boat, it's not quite square, is it? Well,
No.
it's not square at all. It's rounded on the bottom.
That's right.
So of course, in our rush to please Basil the electrician, I'm afraid we went straight through the bottom of the boat, so it sank before we even got it off the ground.
So
that was the end of Basil's motorboat.
So we can have a go at demonstrating it, but what Thomas Woodcarver's saying is we can have a go at demonstrating some of these different project ideas, but there's a good chance our boat will sink.
Yeah.
I think it'd be an interesting project. I think we'll have to do. I'm thinking of Nico now. I'm thinking of my son now. He'd love this. What if we did a battleship? It'd be a project. We'll have a look. We get thinking on these. This is, pardon the pun, but it's uncharted waters for us, these ones. We'll have to have a look, see what we can come up with. But it all sounds good fun. So you can see what I'm doing. I'm just beveling that edge just around. So we're going around the dragon just to shape like that border that we always use. Just to bring out the carving is the idea. Just like so. And again, I think I'm going to do a little point on using our spike for the nose. Just like so. And I think we're pretty much there with that. I will do a coat of shellac on there. We were going to demonstrate a few things though before we finish. We were going to demonstrate how to sharpen a Spokeshave.
Well, I'll get the Spokeshave up.
That was one request. So Dad is going to go and get the Spokeshave. I'll carry on working while he's doing that. That's quite a delicate, what it is, I'm just doing that point for the nose, but that's quite delicate because we haven't got a lot of wood supporting that either side. I'll double check I haven't gone through. No, we haven't. That's okay. So we're going to shape that acorn a little bit. Just like so. Oh, this as well, this goes back to last week's live stream. We had another one. We didn't have an answer for it, and we forgot to explain what it was. Yeah, it's a saw set. You remember, did we? Forgot to tell everyone.
Oh, I thought you told them.
No, we forgot to tell everyone. This is actually our better saw set. So when I was growing up around the workshop, I remember at the age of 4 years old working with the saw set, setting all the angles, probably incorrectly, but having a go.
The internal Spokeshave is there?
I don't.
The silver one.
No, I don't know where that one is.
Okay, I'll have a look in the back room there.
There we are. So we're just going to sand this around. Just like so. I think we put a coat of shellac on there. So there we are. That's a demonstration today of the dove, but also how we carve our own logo. I'll just take a little bit more of the shellac off so we haven't got too much on the brush. We still got too much on the brush. It's filled in the eye too much. There we are. So again, you can just start to see that grain coming out. There you go. So that's a simple. You found it?
Yeah, 3 of them there.
There we are. So Thomas the wood carver will come in now and give us a, what shall I call it? A sharpening masterclass.
Oh no, don't do that.
I'm building it up now. There we go. That's our simple little dragon carving.
Okay.
Right, where would you like the camera position?
I'll go where you are, Dave. I'll put what I'll do. Yeah, I'll put the stone in the vise. Okay.
Right. There we are.
Any more oil? Yeah, there's oil over there, look, Dave. Put some more
Okay.
oil on for me, all right?
Yeah, I'll just refocus this camera.
Okay.
Oh, I'll tell you what. Just put a... Just because it... Just... Yeah, like that. No, bit further down.
Where?
Just there. That's perfect.
Yeah, but
All it is my camera's not... That's fine. Let's just refocus the camera.
Okay, so I'll put that out of the way. Right,
Yeah,
some
some
more
oil.
oil camera
Yeah,
there. Look.
3-in-1 oil.
Yeah.
You talk us through it. So simple. Start off, little bit of 3-in-1 oil on the stone. What are you looking for?
Screwdriver.
Could have done with a bigger one than that, couldn't you?
I could have really.
Let's have a look.
I got it. So you're okay.
You got it?
Yeah, you're okay. That's
There
your
we are.
Spokeshave. Anybody interested in this? This is the external Spokeshave. Take so. Hence, it's exactly the same as a jack plane iron, really. Okay, and then I then would put my blade on there.
So you're trying to use all the stone.
Yeah, and sometimes I turn it round
Yeah.
because it's so short.
One thing worth noting as well, we have separate stones for doing things like the planing irons, for doing spoke shaves, than doing the gouges,
And I just, yeah, wow.
because the gouges put a groove on your stone. There we go.
You can actually feel the burr then. See, I'm running my finger on the back down
I
there.
know.
Now, what I do, I just put it on upside down once, just to what I would call taking the burr from there. Got a cloth there, Dave.
Should be one under the...
Cheers.
On
That's
the
the
go.
right, that one there. Just wipe the oil now. Oh, I could just... I've gone and taken it off. There was just a tiny bit of metal then. Just a little whisker of a metal
So a tiny
on the
bit
top.
of-
Yeah. Oh, you can just... Can you see it, look, Dave? Can you see it on there, look?
So just hold it so the camera... Just hold it so the camera can...
It's just... There's a tiny bit of metal there, look.
There we are. So just a little feather
Yeah,
whisker.
okay. And I can feel all that's nice and sharp. So we now blow it out. Put that back in.
Now, I know
Tighten.
with the...
And now, of course, it's always fun and games getting the adjustment
Trying to adjust it so you get the...
correct. But I start tightening it just enough so that you can adjust the blade. And now if you give me a piece of wood, Dave.
Now I know... Piece of wood. I'm going to grab...
So any piece will do.
Let's have a look.
There we are. And it would be the same sharpening. You see, the different ones. That's a curved for internal.
Is that going to be a...
Yeah, that'll be lovely, that will. That one's flat. And then you've got the wooden one as well. But it would be the same sort of principle. That's a little bit more difficult. I'd have... Oh, no, it wouldn't. It would fit in there fine. So they would be the three...
Now one thing I know... it's the wood burning warrior. I know that they just bought gouges and they bought like a little slipstone.
Right.
That's going to be quite challenging, isn't it, to sharpen a
Right.
spoke shape?
Am I still on the camera now? If I
Yeah, that's fine. That'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just.
Right, put that back in. Right, now I want to just, I want to tighten that a little bit more. There we are, nice and tight. And then, there's my,
Now this is. So don't try this alone.
oh,
It's just getting that. That's it. It's just making that little adjustment so it starts cutting off a better.
but the sound, you can,
Yeah.
it's one of my
Lovely tool to work with.
favourite tools for
Yeah, it is.
working with. It's such a lovely
It's a really
tool.
nice one to work with. It's just a shame where
Yeah.
a lot of what we do now that we
don't use it any
we
longer.
don't use it.
Yeah, but that's the Spokeshave.
Apparently,
Yeah?
there's nobody who'll pay us to just use a Spokeshave all day now. So
No, afraid not.
they'd have to employ us in one of the.
But you can
folk-
see it,
the
and
folk
the
museums.
lovely silky finish on there. Okay.
Now, if you, as I was saying, I know that the wood burning warrior who was asking that question, they got a slipstone. It's going to be quite challenging to sharpen on a little slipstone.
No,
like that,
well,
isn't
it depends how big the slipstone
like,
is.
like the little slipstone
Well,
that we use.
then where's our slipstone, Dave?
Not sure where that one's gone. It's
it's
around here.
Yeah, you would do the same thing.
Same
You would just
principle.
because you only need.
You'll have to rock it around a little bit, won't
Yeah,
you?
yeah,
You'll have to almost circular
yeah.
movements with it. Yeah. So there we are. Right, the other one we were going to show everyone, I will just bring in, and that is the doll's house.
The doll's house, is it? Okay. Let me put some of these chisels back in first, then, Dave.
There we go. This is just to finish off. What if I put that on the... There we go, I'll put that on there.
Okay.
Instead of adjusting everything, I've just put it on the chair over there. There we are. There's our doll's house. So we used to make these, and so we can demonstrate the process that we go through for making them. So give you an idea, give everyone an idea. I think my son's been playing with this a bit, and
All right.
you got so we used to make all the different bits of furniture and things like that. So that's something else then.
Little Welsh dresser.
Yeah, on the channel that we can demonstrate.
And this, of course, was viewed by Prince Lady Diana. Yeah, many moons ago.
There we go. The wood burning warriors just returned. So did we find that the slipstone?
Oh no, that's a nice one there, look, Dave. Because that we would call a settle.
That's
Very popular in Wales, a settle, and also an interesting word in Pembrokeshire. People would call that a skew, S-K-E-W.
yeah.
A settle or a skew would often be in the kitchen. And,
Did they also call it a monk's chair?
I've
or
not heard
something
of
like
that one. No.
Yeah, I've seen a similar. This one here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a monk's seat or something like that. I've
Yeah.
heard it referred to as
So
well.
you know, it's an ideal project. It's
I've found that one for you.
Oh,
Do
you
you want
found
to
the
just very
slipstone?
quickly demonstrate it?
Okay.
You've missed our first demonstration of the how to sharpen the.
okay. I'm not going to tighten it too much in the vise, but it's the same principle again. Obviously, a little bit more difficult, but
It's a bit more difficult with the slipstone
Yeah.
because I know you've bought a slipstone, so just to demonstrate how you would do it
okay.
with a slipstone.
Different one. This is the internal spokeshave.
One thing we've been asked as well about is incarnal and incarnal gouges. Yeah, again, we don't use those. Don't have a lot of use for them. Let's make a fountain pen holder of some kind. So the wood burning warrior wants to make a fountain pen holder. Yeah, we've done pen holders. We can demonstrate that. We can show how we make the pen holders. There you go. So all you find the cutting angle.
As the oil squeezes up, so you know you've got the cutting angle. Perhaps I should have gone slower with the other one. You know, you don't think.
So if I explain what he's doing,
You can see the oil squeezing up
What you
there.
see Dad's doing, he rocks it up until that oil starts squeezing out. Then he's found the cutting angle. So to sharpen it, he's moving it round to sharpen it. And what you do on this side, you'll build up a little bit of a burr and you can feel it, a little rough edge. So as that oil goes up, you know, you found your cutting angle, rock it round on the stone itself until you get a very light burr on the other side. That way you know that you've managed to sharpen your planing iron or your Spokeshave iron or your gouges, same principle for all of it. And then you take that burr off the inside. So just a little bit of 3-in-1 oil on the stone. Is that the same with all the different stones? Or does it depend on the type of stone?
Well, this is a finishing stone.
Finishing stone, yeah.
I
So
mean,
just find that angle, go above, sharpen on the external. Yeah, sorry, you're going to say?
I'll show you the other one because it was quite unique because it's got there. I can actually run my finger now, and run your finger down there, Dave. You can feel the burr just there.
So just on that
feel it
edge
there?
Yeah, there's a very light burr.
Yeah.
So now we know that we've sharpened on that external angle.
It's obviously more difficult with a small stone like this, but it's just take your time. It'll come.
Yeah. So get a light burr on that external angle. Is that oil asking? Yeah, it's a bit of 3-in-1 oil.
Yeah, it's light oil, it's thin oil.
Yeah.
You can see the stone beginning to dry there, so I need more oil on there.
That's it. So just a little bit of 3-in-1
Right,
oil.
and then I just turn it over on the flat, 1, 2, but make sure it's on the flat, not too much, just to take that burr
Just to take that burr
from
off.
there. And just to make sure, you can run, yeah, we got it. You can run that down there.
And so you build
and
up a
now we'll
very
fix
light
it
burr,
back.
take that burr off, and then strop it on something. So you can get leather strops and things like that, or you can just use a piece of material. So just strop it on a piece of material just to finish it off.
And now we'll pop it back in there, Dave.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is a lovely one. This is an adjustable one, look, so you can get it spot on.
That's one of the things,
want.
because we've been running a family workshop for over 45 years. We've got all sorts of different tools that now we don't use very often, but we still keep them. For instance, it's amazing when we're doing a one-off Lovespoon for our family collection.
You can see, look, I put it in and it's not quite right. So
No,
all I have to do now,
it
slacken a bit.
and adjust it until you get the right amount that you want.
I'm adjusting that down there. Oops-a-daisy. That's got to come back as well.
There we go. And this is what you'll have to do then. When you return it to the Spokeshave, you'll have to make little adjustments to get it to cut in the way that you want it to cut. So get it back in the right position and the right distance so it'll do the job. Are you there?
Not quite. Not quite. That's coming down now. That's better.
So this one is actually adjustable as well on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's actually got adjusters on the back of it, this one.
Tighten again.
You're welcome as well. Now, hopefully this will help, and we're glad to be able to demonstrate it for you. Have you got it?
Yeah, you're nearly there.
Where's that bit of wood gone?
Yeah, if you find me that bit of wood now.
I'll find a bit of wood and to finish off you demonstrate.
Don't over tighten it though. Don't over tighten it, because that's a bit of cast in there, look. And you can see how short that screw is in there, so don't over tighten it.
Let's find you a piece of wood.
What happened to that piece of wood we had, Dave?
I don't know.
Oh look, he's giving me a harder piece now.
There you go. Giving you a piece of mahogany to demonstrate. A piece of mahogany furniture. Now that
Needs adjusting.
needs adjusting. But there we are. It gives you an idea. You'll have to go back to the other one. The other one was cutting better than that one. I know. There you go. Someone's going to be sharpening there. Ah, yeah. So you can see, just make fine adjustments until you get it cutting the way you want it to cut. And that's how we, that's better, is it?
That's better.
Yeah. There we go. So that's how we adjust and sharpen the Spokeshave. Hopefully it's useful. Again, let us know any questions.
But that's
you
the
might have.
that's the
Get them into
internal
us.
one.
Yeah.
Whereas the other one
Is the
was the
external.
external. So, but it's a lovely tool to use, and the more you practice with it, obviously, it gets better.
So there we are. Yeah. Now remember, any questions, anything you need any help with, any ideas, anything that might be useful, get those thoughts into us. As I mentioned, Wednesday now, I'm going to bring that camera up on us to finish off. There you go. Say hello to Thomas Carver.
Good afternoon.
We'll zoom out a bit. There you go. So just coming to the edge of screen there, you will see our fancy lamp. So that's going to be our video for, if I can come and stand next to you.
It's coming up this week, is it?
That's going to be our Wednesday video, is talking about this one here. So yeah, check that one out. Any questions, any thoughts or anything that you've got, any ideas or anything like that, anything you'd like to see, let us know. Remind us if we forget and things like that.
You're not in the picture there. Oh, you're in the picture now.
I'm in
You're
just
in
in the picture.
There
Yeah,
he is.
there you go. See, I'm just standing
Yeah,
there.
he's not as good looking as me, but there we are.
There we go. You can't have everything, can you?
No.
Yeah. So get those questions in, get those thoughts in, those ideas, because it's great to share whatever you're interested in.
It's a lovely material.
Yeah, nice material.
Timber is a wonderful material to work with.
No, thumbs up there. I'm guessing for a round one, I would need to find a dowel or something round. So for a round,
How do you mean?
we've got on there asking, what was it? And I'm guessing for a round one, I need to find dowel or something round. You'll have to elaborate on that one for and we'll help you out
We
with it.
did making dowels a little while ago. I made a couple of quarter-inch
I
dowels.
think it's to do with the sharpening or something like that.
Oh, right.
But there we are. But yeah, we've got the video coming up on Wednesday on this one over here. That was great for BenQ. We'll be honest with you, we still reckon that they've asked us to do this collaboration. They sent us the lamp and asked us to review it. We still think that they've contacted the wrong people. So what can we say? But hopefully you'll enjoy the video. Let us know what you think.
Yeah.
And any questions, anything you want us to have a look at, let us know.
I would say with the Spokeshave, that kind of thing, really speaking, sanding machines now have taken over.
Have taken
that
over a
kind
lot of what they can do.
That's the thing.
Yeah, absolutely. The curved Spokeshave. That's what they're asking for.
That one there.
I think. Do they do? You know more with Spokeshaves than me. Do they do a curved blade on the Spokeshave?
Possibly.
You'll have to let us know.
The one I
You'll
was
have to let
thinking
us
was
know.
the other one. I'll bring the other one in, which I think I showed last time. If I can put my hand on it, I'll bring it in.
Here we are. He's gone to have a little look. All of the, basically, when it comes to sharpening curved things, it's the same principle, but you've got to sharpen across the full edge. You're thinking of the draw knife, is it? Yeah. So when you're sharpening, it's the same. If I'm doing that edge there, we got to rock it from side to side, so we sharpen right the way across.
This one here,
full edge.
This one here, as you can see, it's not sharp. I need to sharpen that up.
There we are.
Oh, sorry.
That's the draw blade.
I forgot you were down there.
There we are.
Yeah, that would be what we call a draw knife, but at the moment that needs sharpening.
Yeah.
But I mean, that would be. If you want to drop the camera down there.
Yeah, there we are. Hang on. 2 seconds.
I mean, you can see it working, and it's blunt at the moment.
So it's blunt. That's the draw blade. That's it. Interesting. What they refer to is concave and convex.
Ah, there we are. Then.
Spokeshaves.
There we are.
Well, basically, that would be along the same lines
That's
as
those
doing
two. Yeah.
as doing the curved gouges.
Yeah.
But I mean these ones, that's external, yeah.
I call it external. I call that internal.
Yeah, so external.
So one is convex, one is concave.
Yeah, so that's
So
external.
that must be
one's
concave.
internal.
That's convex.
Yeah, but in terms of if you, I mean, it's not something I'm familiar with. If it is curved like that, all you do is you rock it on the stone from side to side to make sure you sharpen right the way across the full edge.
Yeah, but I've not seen one like that.
There we are.
You know,
We live in the learn, isn't it?
again, you know, a
Convex concave.
wheelwright would use the Spokeshave.
That's right.
You know, and they'd use different sort of tools.
But as you
and
say,
often they made tools to, you know, to work a particular job.
that's right. There we are. Thank you again for joining us. If it's something different that we mentioned, let us know and we're happy to elaborate. But yeah, we'll be back next week with some other ideas, and check out our lamp review on Wednesday. Thank you all again.